Hi. So today the topic is down and forward on trot. So I have a young stallion here that I'm going to try to see if I can teach him or show you how we teach down and forward on trot. First, let me explain down and forward a little bit. So you heard this term down and forward. It can be down and forward on any gait really, most commonly walk and then trot. We can even do down and forward on tölt, which is considered to be a very high education exercise, or as we say sometimes very expensive exercise, high level. I feel like in my training life it has changed a lot. So when I was younger, it was very common that horses were like trained higher, and we thought maybe at some point that was the way to do it, but that has changed. But so at some point I remember a period where we were really systematically trying to teach the horses to go down and forward, and it was quite a bit of work because they had been first trained to be very high and up, and then training them to come down was quite a bit of a project. But nowadays I feel like it's different because we train, or at least we here at this barn, train the horses much more in a way that they can choose their position. When they're young and unbalanced, we allow them to choose their neck position quite a bit. And we can almost guarantee that the young unbalanced horse will always choose the low position. The low neck position is the most natural position for the horse to be in. A horse in the wild, a horse in the field spends probably 23 hours a day eating grass with his head in the ground. So the low position is a very natural position for the horse. It's a very calming position for the horse, and it's something that they really like and learn to appreciate if they haven't always. And so it becomes almost like just a matter of allowing them to go down. So when you allow it, they appreciate it. So here I have a young horse that I doubt is going to have any problem going down and forward, but I have not yet started to teach it to him like on cue. So in the beginning it's like I just allow the horse to choose its position, and since the neck is the balance pole of the horse, they're very likely and almost always going to choose a lower neck position. I very rarely see a relaxed young horse run around with a rider on his back with his head way up. They usually always choose that longer, lower position, unless they're in some kind of flight mode or running away from something. Then slowly we want to get it more into like a trained, we can say exercise, or a trained position, like on command. So I can teach my horse to, okay, now we go down and forward from A to C, we're going to go down and forward. What is down and forward? Down and forward is when we're going to turn sideways a little bit. Move this out, buddy. There you go. Down and forward, this is when the neck of the horse goes down, but also forward. It's important to realize and remember that the lower the neck goes, the more open the pole has to be. So if you look at my hand here, and this, as often before, my fingers here are going to be the forehead of the horse, the pole and the neck. Let's say I have a raised horse. I have a high neck, raised neck, and I got a round pole. So here I have a horse in a raised position, close to being on the vertical, maybe a little bit in front of the vertical. Now I'm going to keep the same pretend bend here in the pole, but I'm just going to lower the neck. Where is he now? He is behind the vertical. So as the neck goes down, the nose has to go forward in order for the horse not to be what we call behind the bit or behind the vertical. That's why it's also easier for the horse to learn to round its neck in the lower position, because the rounding in the lower position requires less roundness or less stretching of the pole, less rounding, because it's naturally easy for the horse to be on the vertical here, but quite advanced to be on the vertical higher up. So that's why it's down and forward. That's important. We don't want the horse to go down and behind with the nose between his legs or to his chest. We want the nose to go forward on the vertical or in front of it, and the neck goes down. kind of like he is actually right now, and like he was listening to me. We say that the minimum, the horse has to go low enough that the pole is equal to the withers or lower. So here, now he came up, so I would like him to be down at least this low. That's okay, buddy, you're fine. Now he came up. Then we can start to talk about the horse being starting to do the exercise down and forward. The proper exercise down and forward, the horse is in rein contact, and he is accepting the rein and reaching for the rein, in contact, reaching and stretching for the rein down and forward. It's not just me throwing the reins at him and hoping he goes down. Like now I'm not riding down and doing down and forward, he's just choosing to go down. These are two different things, but it can be a good start. I'm going to focus on down and forward on trot, but we should probably make more videos in this at some point, because it actually starts right here in standstill, teaching the horse to yield down from the rein pressure. So this horse goes up, and then I put a little pressure on the reins, waiting for him to lower his ears or his pole, and then I release him and he goes down. So I put the pressure on, I see the ears, so the pole go down a little bit, and he gets the release and he realizes, oh, okay, that's what I should do. So let's assume he knows that, which he does a little bit. Then the next thing would be down and forward on walk. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that here. It's obviously similar work, but maybe at some point we do another video on that. But this question was down and forward on trot, so I'm going to try to be true to that. But let's say if we can get him a little bit down and forward on walk here as we warm him up. There we go. So I want him to follow my hand, reach for the rein, down and forward. He's just kind of starting to get the idea here. And I really haven't done it much on trot yet, so we will see how that goes. Now, what's the method going to be here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to lighten my seat. So I'm going to sit a little bit light in my saddle. That I do to offer him to lift up his back. I'm going to put my legs a little bit around him, my upper leg and enough lower leg that he feels it and goes forward, not so much that he goes too fast. I'm going to put a little bit of a steady leg on the horse. I don't want to say squeeze because I don't like squeezing, but it's going to be a steady feel. I'm going to hug him with my leg. I'm going to hug him with my leg. And then I'm going to put a little pressure on the reins. I can do left, right, one at a time, or both. Just depends a little bit on what I feel works the best. And when the horse goes down, enters me down, I will release my legs and move my hand forward. Not so fast forward that the rein gets hollow and empty, but enough that I go with him. And what I'm going to try to do also is, as I release him forward, especially if he tries to go behind like there, I'm going to ride him a little bit forward. Because ultimately I want to ride the horse down and forward. And here if he goes too far down, I got to ride a little bit more forward. That's better. And try to make sure it doesn't go much behind the bit. Going an inch behind the vertical in the beginning is not the end of the world, but that's not something I'm going to encourage. If I feel like my horse is going too much behind, I'm going to drive him more, and eventually I will pick up his head if that happens too much. Okay, so let's just go into trot, since that's the topic here. So I'm just going to get some contact here. I'm going to ride this horse on trot, just a normal trot. I'm going to be in my half seat. Let him warm up a little bit. He's a little bit looking to the inside of the arena. I'm going to turn around here, go the other way. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Depends if it's easier to start on a straightaway or circle. Let's just start on the next long side. Sometimes it's easier to just be on the circle when doing it. Sometimes it's easier to be on the outside rail. I just like to figure out each horse with that. So I'm gonna make sure he's forward enough. Then I'm gonna put a little bit upper leg on him too. A little pressure on the reins. Wait for him to go down and then release him down and forward. There we go. So he's pretty quick to accept it. Now I came up again. In the beginning, I'm just gonna be happy if he goes down once. Put a little leg on, upper leg, lower leg enough to ride forward, pressure on the reins. He goes tiny bit down. And the trick here is to feel and notice when the pole goes down a little bit, and then move my hand this way and maybe ride a little bit forward. Don't wait for the head to go to the ground before you release. That's not going to help. You have to see the ears or see the pole go down just a tiny bit and then reward for it and ride him forward. If it goes up on that point, you take pressure again. He goes down, you reward for it. But he did go down there pretty well the first time. Immediately he came up again. But I just decided to take, I'm just going to reward for that and maybe just slow down to walk and call it for a minute and then start again. First, you just got to teach the horse to respond in that direction and understand in what direction you should respond. And then we start to train the horse to stay there and be consistent at it. Okay? Let's do it again. This horse, I've really not trained this or taught this, but he is a relaxed horse and he's trained here, so he has always been allowed to be down and forward. In the beginning of training, he's been allowed to go down when he's warming up, and I'm not trying to raise this horse a lot yet, so he just kind of by nature is not shy of that direction, I think. So that's kind of like a very good thing. I'm going to go back to the other long side. It's better. I'm going to try it there and have the whole long side ahead of me. So here I am in just regular trot, in contact. I'm going to put my upper leg, lower leg around him, put a pressure on the rein, wait for the neck to go down, there, and go with him. Again, there, and I go with him. There we go. So just like, as soon as I saw his pole go down just a little bit, I made sure my hand goes down and forward in the direction of his mouth. In the direction of his mouth. And I keep riding him forward. That's important, that he doesn't stall out. To the other side. And I even ride him more forward rather than less forward when he's going down. Contact on trot. Leg on, rein on, waiting, there, it's okay, he's down there, that's it, good. Again, came up, down again, pressure on, leg, rein, down, there. And if I lose contact, I need to drive more. And obviously make sure my hand didn't go too much forward, but maybe primarily drive more. Came up, pressure on, pressure off, but contact and ride him forward, and ride him forward, ride him forward, ride him forward. Come on, Gary. Come on. There you go. And it's not a competition about, going as low as possible. I just need to go down and have control over it. I would like him to stretch a little bit more there. Come on. I'm trying to work on keeping him down. He wants to go to the inside of the arena. There. There we go. This was actually much easier than I expected, because like I said, I haven't worked with it systematically like this. But like I said, I have this experience with the young horses that are trained here and have never been ideally like pulled up or raised too early or too much too early in the training progress. So I let him warm up down most of the time. I let him stretch down at the end. He knows this way. He knows it's a good place to be. And as soon as I offer it to him, he takes it. There are a few things you have to be careful with, or some things. When the horse, if your horse does not know this exercise or position, it might be tricky in the beginning. When they figure it out, that they can go there and how good it is to be there, how good it feels, it can very easily, they can become a little bit bratty about it, like start to like from time to time just like pull the reins out of your hands and say, now I'm gonna go down and forward, I like going down and forward, I want it now. That you have to stop. They can ask politely, can I stretch down? And if you say yes, they can do it. If you say no, there should be no problem. If you notice your horse starts to pull the reins out of your hand to throw his head into the ground, this is out of control. And then you have to limit it, maybe limit how far you go. It should be up to you how far you go, not the horse. You should not just like lick the ground on the first cue. It's up to you how far you go down. You need to then limit how far you go down, limit how often you do it, and pretty much if it gets bad, only do it when you ask for it. So in other words, don't take their suggestion too much on it, because it is very annoying and very bad habit when they pull the reins out of your hand to stretch down and forward. Bad habit, can be dangerous and not good. You have to deal with it right away. I have never really had that big of a problem. I think it happens if we get, what can we say, too happy too quickly about them going down, and we just start to like, oh, it's so cute, he's asking for it, and we like, he know it, he got it, great, genius, and we give it to him every time he asks, and that only maybe do that for a few days, and you kind of created a monster with it. So you have to be careful with that. Let's do it one more time here. I'm gonna go on this side. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's not over yet. Trot in contact. And then I come here to the long side, I put more leg on him, upper leg, lower leg, pressure on the reins. He comes up first, and then down. I go with him, and he likes it. No, came up again, pressure on again, leg, rein, down again, pressure off. Okay, I go with him, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's camera shy. Here. There. I'm going to try to maintain some contact, not just throw the rein at him when he goes down, but go with him. Maintain the contact, ride him forward. There, there, and oh. So very good. I was kind of expecting a little more of a project here in that sense, but like I explained before, for those reasons, I think it's not that hard. That's how it works. Down and forward and trot starts with teaching the horse just to weigh down from the rein, standing still, just a little pressure on my upper leg, lower leg, rein on, head down is rewarded. Do the same on walk, and then that just transfers into trot. The trick is, the most important part of this is obviously have clear cues, but notice the little try. Notice when they lower their head a little bit like that, and don't be waiting for the 50 centimeter drop. So you know the pressure comes on because he went up. And now it stops, I put pressure on again. It starts very simple like this. Just to teach him to go down from the pressure. I'm lowering my hand, I don't have to do that. Here, leg, rein. Now more rein because he's going up. More rein, now he's going down, rein comes off. He's thinking down, no, not anymore, rein comes on. There. And then soon, no, don't turn there, there you go. And soon he's going to realize that down is where there is less pressure going on. And if he goes down, I'll let him be. There. There. We can go a tiny bit more maybe. Well, maybe it's enough. There we go. So we're kind of at that minimum level here. All right, very good. Next week we'll do a demo. We'll work with the horse with somebody else, working on the same thing. And if you have any questions on this video, please put questions in comments here below. Then you can obviously ask questions in the live demo and then the live Q&A the week after that. Very good. That's it for now. Thank you.